Good morning and welcome to math for Wednesday, December 9th. And today we're going to look at lesson 5 in your MyMath book, which starts on page 159 if you need to get there. We're going to subtract 3-digit numbers. And our essential question is, how are the operations of subtraction and addition related? And we know that they're inverse operations, so they undo each other. Let's look at math in my world. Example 1. How many more sheets of craft paper does Will have than Lizetta? Now over here is where we get our information for this problem. We're using this chart, this table. So here's the name of the person. So here's Lizetta, and she has 79 sheets, and Will has 265 sheets, and Alano has 128 sheets, but they don't ask us about Alano, so we don't need to worry about him. So how many more sheets of craft paper does Will have than Lizetta is our question. We'll have to find the unknown, so 265 minus 79, and then we'll see what the unknown is. First, just to find what a reasonable answer should be, we're going to estimate. We aren't necessarily going to do that on every problem, but let's estimate 265 rounded to the nearest 100 is 300, and 79 rounded to the nearest 100 also rounds up to 100. And 300 minus 100 equals 200. So our reasonable answer should be around 200, or not too far off from 200. All right, step 1, we need to subtract the ones. All right, so let's look at our ones. Oh, 5 minus 9. Well, you can't subtract 9 from 5. So we have to regroup one of these 10s. In the tens column over here, we have to regroup one 10 as 10 ones. So we're going to cross out this 6 tens, and it becomes 5 tens. And then over here, we're going to cross out this 5 because that 10 tens we regrouped adds to the 5 ones. Not the tens, I mean the 10 ones, that's 1 10 that we regrouped. We regrouped 1 10 as 10 ones, and then 5 ones plus 10 ones equals 15 ones. And now we can subtract 15 ones minus 9 ones. What's 15 minus 9? And that is 6. All right, so now we're going to come over here to step 2. Okay, we're filling in the boxes, so don't go ahead and finish the problem here. Let's go over to number 2 because we're doing it step by step. Then we need to regroup 100 as 10 tens. So what happens is that we take one of these hundreds and we're going to regroup it. So now we just have 100 in the hundreds column. And we took that 100 and we broke it up into 10 tens. And so regroup 100 as 10 tens, and 5 tens plus 10 tens equals 15 tens. So we're going to write this here, and we're going to cross out the 5 tens that was in this column. And I'm crossing out this one too because that was from the other step that we crossed out the 6 tens because we regrouped one of those over here. And we already did this subtraction. Now, though, we're ready to subtract 15 tens minus 7 tens. So 15 tens minus 7 tens equals 8 tens. And then we can subtract 100 from 0 hundreds, and that equals 100. Oh, goodness. That is not a very good 1 that I wrote there. So let's fix that so it looks right. Okay, I was just trying to make it darker and it didn't come out right. Okay, so 186 is our answer. So let's check. The last step is to check. So we're going to use addition. So remember, we found that this was 186. So that goes up here, and we're going to add it to the number we were subtracting to see if we get the same number that we were subtracting from. Because remember, Addition and subtraction are inverse operations. They undo each other. So 186 plus 79. 6 plus 9 is 15. Regroup that 10 over here. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. And we're going to regroup that 100 into the hundreds column. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So yes, it checks out, because we added what we found is the difference to the number that we were subtracting from, and we got the same number that we started with. All right, so addition shows the subtraction answer is correct. 186 is close to the estimate, which, remember, our estimate up here was 200. Estimation shows that the answer is reasonable. So 265 minus 79 equals 186. Will has 186 more sheets of craft paper. Now let's turn the page to 160 and look at example 2. It says Denzel wants to buy a remote control airplane for $125. He has $354. How much money will he have left? All right, we have to find the unknown. 354 minus 125 equals, and then this is the unknown. We don't know what it is yet. First, we're going to estimate, but this time we're going to round to the nearest 10. 354 rounds down to 350, and 125 rounds up to 130. And 350 minus 130 is 220. So our estimate is 220. So our answer, our exact answer should be close to that. All right, so now we're ready to subtract. And okay, so all right, so if we look, they've already started this problem for us. So it looks like they regrouped 110 over into the ones and made that 4 ones into 14 ones. And then that made the 10s 4. And then we're ready to subtract. And we always start at the left or at the right and work our way left, okay? We always start with the ones, and then we do the 10s, and then we do the hundreds. We'd never do it the other way around. Okay, so one way to help you figure out what 14 minus 5 is to think of what plus 5 equals 14. And we know that 9 plus 5 equals 14. So 14 minus 5 equals 9. And now we're going to look at the tens column, and 4 minus 2, well, you could also think of it as what plus 2 equals 4? And 2 plus 2 equals 4. So 4 minus 2 equals 2. And then 3 minus 1, well, what plus 1 equals 3? 2 plus 1 equals 3. So 3 minus 1 equals 2. So our answer is 229. He would have $229 left. And I'm going to write that right here because that's the answer that we just found. 354 minus 125 is $229. Now let's check our subtraction by adding the difference that we found to the number we were subtracting and figure out if we get the number we started with. So 9 plus 5 is 14. Regroup that 10, that 110. And 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. So yes, it is the same as the number we started with, so our math is correct. Addition shows the answer is correct. And $229 is close to the estimate of $220. Oh, and I forgot my dollar sign up top here. All right. And then so $354 minus $125 equals $229. Denzel will have $229 left. All right, so now we're ready for the guided practice. It says subtract. Use addition to check your answer. Okay, so 764 minus 138. I already am looking at my ones, and I cannot subtract 8 from 4 ones. So I need to go next door to the tens and take one of those tens and break it up into 10 ones. So my tens, 6 tens becomes 5 tens, and my 4 ones becomes 14 ones because we added that 10 ones to our 4 ones that we already had. And 14 minus 8 equals 6. 5 minus 3 equals 2. 7 minus 1 equals 6. All right, we need to check our answer. So the difference goes up top. So $626 plus $138. And we should come up with $764. That's why you're using the addition to check. You should be able to add the difference to the number you were subtracting and get the original number that you started with. If you don't, then somewhere you got your math wrong and you need to go check and figure out what you did wrong. 6 plus 8 is 14. Regroup that 110. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So yes, we are correct. All right, now we need to look at number 2. $614 minus $457. All right, so I always start over in the ones, and I can already see I cannot subtract 7 ones from 4 ones, so I will need to go next door. But I see a problem in the tens as well. You can't take 5 tens away from 1 10. So we need to go all the way next door to the hundreds first. So we're going to regroup 100, and that makes us only have 5 hundreds now on the top number. And we are going to take, oh, hold on. All right. Mrs. Siskar is going to back up. Let's start this problem over, because I can tell they're having me do it a little bit different than what I normally do, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to look at this again. So we reversed, I erased. Let's look at it again. Instead of going all the way over to the hundreds column, we're going to go just right next door to the tens to regroup a 10 so we have enough ones. So let's do that first. Regroup that 10. So now we have 0 tens, and that 10 breaks up into 10 ones, and we add it to the 4 ones we already have, and we have 14 ones. Make sure you cross out the 4 just so you don't get confused. Now we need to go next door from the tens to the hundreds. And from here, we're going to take 100 and break it up. So now we only have 5 hundreds in our 100 column on the top number. And we're going to take the 10 hundreds. No, not the 10 hundreds. The 10 tens, excuse me. 10 tens. And we're not adding it to anything because there were 0 tens at this point. So we have 10 tens in the tens column. And okay, now we can subtract. Go back over to the ones. 14 minus 7 ones is 7. 10, and actually I could cross this 0 out because I regrouped it. 10 tens minus 5 tens is 5 tens. And 5 hundreds minus 4 hundreds is 100. So we should have gotten $157. Now we need to check our math. Add 157, our answer, to 457, which is the number that we were subtracting from the original number, and we should get 614 should be our answer. Let's see if we got it. 7 plus 7 is 14. Regroup that 110. And 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And we're going to regroup the 100 over here because we made 10 tens into 100. And 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Did we get the correct answer? Yes, we did. So 614 minus 457 is 157 because we just checked our work. Now we're ready to go on and do the guided or the independent practice. Now, for this part, I think you should do this for sure on your own. So at this point, you should probably pause the video and come back and check your work once you've done the independent practice. Unless you get super stuck, and then start the video and I'll help walk you through it, okay? All right, so the directions say subtract. Use addition to check your answer. All right, so let's look at the first problem, number 3. 687 minus 353. Start with the ones column. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. And 6 minus 3 is 3. And I'm going to drop my $sign down here too. That's an important label. When they give it to you, they are talking about dollars, so you need to use that dollar symbol. All right, let's double check our math by taking the answer we found and adding it to the number we subtracted from the original number. So 334 plus 353, and let's add 4 plus 3 is 7, 3 plus 5 is 8, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So yes, we were correct. We got the same answer here. All right, let's go to number 4. 177 minus 94. 7 minus 4 is 3. Oh, 7 minus 9, you can't do that. So you have to go next door to the hundreds. And the hundreds become 0 because there's only 100 in there to begin with. And this 7 tens actually becomes 17 tens. And 17 minus 9 equals 8. So 83. So now we check. 83 plus 94, and we should get 177. 3 plus 4 is 7. 8 plus 9 is 17. 177. So yes, it checks out. All right, let's look at number 5. $843 minus $187. 3 minus 7. Oh, we can't do that. We have to go next door and not borrow. That's what we used to call it. We have to regroup a 10. So the tens becomes 3, and we regrouped that 10 over here into the ones, and that makes 13 ones. So 13 ones minus 7 is 6 ones. And then 3 minus 8. Oh, we can't do that. So we have to go over to the hundreds column and regroup 100 into 10 tens, and that makes the 3 tens become 13 tens. 13 tens minus 8 tens equals 5 tens. And then 7 minus 100 is 600. $656. So let's add just to make sure we did it right. $656 plus $187. And 6 plus 7 is 13. Regroup that 110. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. And regroup that into 100. And 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. $843, which was our original number. So we are correct. All right, now we're going to, we are going to do number 6. It says algebra, subtract to find the unknown. So we're just subtracting to find the answer. They use the word unknown because that's a algebra term, okay? They're starting to get you thinking about finding unknowns in number sentences. All right, so $769 minus $359. So I'm going to do it myself just like they did up here. I like those 3 columns. So let's see. All right, so 769 minus, and it's dollars, minus $359, and then draw my line. I'm going to extend my lines down here so that I'm keeping my columns straight. Oh, I actually don't need this last column. All right, you guys get to see my mistakes as I'm figuring it out as I go. All right, so now we're going to subtract. I actually don't see any regrouping that we need to do. So 9 minus 9 is 0, 6 minus 5 is 1, and 7 minus 3 is 4. So the unknown is $410. In this one, they don't ask you to add to check, but you could add to check if you wanted to. Number 7, 267 minus 178. Let's find the unknown. And I'm going to do it just like we did before. So 267 minus 178. All right, 7 minus 8. Well, you can't take 8 away from 7. So we have to go next door and get a 10 and break that 10 up into 10 ones, and this 7 ones now become 17 ones. So 17 minus 8 is 9, and 5 minus 7, nope, we can't do that. So we have to go next door to the hundreds and get 100 and break it up into 10 tens, and this 5 tens now becomes 15 tens. 15 tens minus 7 tens equals 8 tens. And 100 minus 100 actually equals 0. And when it's to the furthest left, you don't actually have to write that. You don't have to write 0 hundreds, because we don't say no hundreds and 89. We say 89. So the unknown is 89 in this case. All right, let's look at number 8. And I'm going to draw my lines here again. And 492 minus 383, and draw the line. Okay, all right, and we're going to start all the way in the ones. And 2 minus 3, well, we can't do that, so go next door to the tens and take a 10 and break it up into 10 ones so that the 2 ones now becomes 12 ones. 12 minus 3 is 9, and 8 minus 8 is 0, and 4 minus 3 is 1. 109 is the unknown. And now we're ready for number 9. It says use addition to find each unknown. Okay, so this is sort of like a puzzle. And let me show you how we can find it. Remember that addition and subtraction are inverse operations. So for instance, on number 9, we need to figure out what the square, the gray square is. That's this number. So in order to find that number, we have to add 2 plus 7. And I know that 2 plus 7 equals 9. But now we need to find the dark triangle. And in order to find out what this is, we have to find out what is 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. So we're going to do the same things on 10 and 11. So let's find the square, and we have to add 2 plus 1. Well, 2 plus 1 equals 3. Now we need to figure out what the triangle is, and for this one, we're not going to add, we need to subtract. We have to figure out what 9 minus 1 is. Well, if you have 9 and you take 1 away, you get 8. So this triangle equals 8. And for number 11, all right, let's find the square first. 7 minus what equals 4? Okay, so we can find this by saying 7 minus 3 is, or 7 minus 4 is 3. I gave you the answer, sorry. 7 minus 4 equals 3, or what plus 4 equals 7? 3 plus 4 equals 7. And 7 minus 3 equals 4. And now for this triangle. What is 9 minus 9? And that's the answer to the triangle, which is 0. All right, now let's turn the page to page 162 and look at our problem solving and brain builders. Problem solving. Glenwood Elementary students were asked to vote for their choice of a field trip destination. The table shows the results. 233 people voted for the aquarium, 105 voted for museum, 269 voted for lighthouse, and 298 voted for the science center. Here's the question. How many more students voted for the lighthouse than for the aquarium? Write a number sentence to solve, then check with an addition sentence. Okay, so